Imagine a world where your every move is tracked, your habits analyzed, and your personal information sold to the highest bidder. Now stop imagining, because that world is here and it's parked right in your driveway. Sound of a car engine starting your car, that symbol of freedom and independence, has become a rolling surveillance device. A privacy nightmare on wheels. But how did we get here? And more importantly, can we steer ourselves back toward a future where our vehicles serve us, not spy on us? Today's cars are collecting gigabytes of data about you. They know who you are, where you're going, and how you're getting there. They're eavesdropping on your conversations, recording your movements, and in some cases even monitoring your physical state. And it's not just what's happening inside the car. Are those cameras meant to help you park? They're also capturing images of your neighborhood, your home, and even the inside of your garage. That touchscreen you use for navigation and entertainment, it's busy building a detailed profile of your interests and behaviors. Let's break down exactly what kind of information your car is collecting. First, there's technical data about the vehicle itself: battery health, engine performance, brake wear. This information is crucial for maintenance and safety, and few would argue against its collection. But then we move into more personal territory. Modern cars can store your fingerprints, facial features, and even medical information, ostensibly for emergency services. They record your financial data for in-car purchases. And of course, there's location data: where you drive, when you drive, how you drive, and where you park. Pause for emphasis. But it doesn't stop there. Some car manufacturers' privacy policies are so broad that they claim the right to collect information about your sex life, sexual orientation, genetic information, and even your immigration status. How does knowing about your bedroom habits help get you from point A to point B safely? The answer is that it doesn't. Now you might be wondering, who wants all this data and what are they doing with it? The answers may surprise you. It's not just the car companies themselves, it's a whole ecosystem of data brokers, advertisers, insurance companies, and even government agencies. In fact, according to Mozilla's study, 84% of car brands share user data with outside companies. 76% sell it outright. And 56% share data with government or law enforcement, sometimes with little more than an informal request. Back in 2016, consulting firm McKinsey estimated that the vehicle data market would be worth a staggering $750 billion by 2030. That projection has led to a gold rush, with everyone trying to stake their claim in your personal information. But here's where things get interesting. Despite all the hype, the reality of data monetization hasn't quite lived up to expectations. In 2021, McKinsey actually revised its estimate downward by about half. It turns out that turning your personal information into cold, hard cash isn't as easy as some had hoped. This trend mirrors what we've seen in other tech sectors. Remember the wild projections about the internet economy in the late 90s? Many of those never materialized. Similarly, the car data gold rush might be hitting its own reality check. But just because companies are struggling to profit from your data doesn't mean the risks have disappeared. Far from it. In fact, it's not just legitimate businesses that are after your information. Criminals have taken notice too. Some experts say the data stored in your car is now more valuable to thieves than the vehicle itself. From identity theft to high-tech carjacking, the possibilities for abuse are endless. There have even been disturbing cases where domestic abusers have exploited connected car features to stalk and harass their victims. Imagine your car being turned into a tool of terror by someone who's supposed to love you. So what can you do to protect yourself in this increasingly connected world? With the rise of smart technology in vehicles, safeguarding your personal data has become more crucial than ever. Unfortunately, at the moment, your options are quite limited and often frustrating. The privacy settings available are usually minimal and not user-friendly, leaving many feeling helpless. You could opt to buy an older, less connected car, but that comes with its own set of compromises, such as missing out on modern safety features, better fuel efficiency, and the convenience of integrated navigation and entertainment systems. Another option is to try reading through those lengthy privacy policies and terms of service agreements. However, studies show it would take you days if not weeks to get through them all, and they are often written in complex legal language that is difficult to understand. And even if you do manage to wade through all that legalese, you'll likely discover that to use even basic features of your car, you have to consent to wide-ranging data collection. This can include everything from your driving habits to your personal contacts. One concrete step you can take is to thoroughly wipe your data before selling or returning a vehicle. This can help protect your personal information from falling into the wrong hands. Make sure to follow the manufacturer's instructions to ensure all data is completely erased. Many people don't realize that 4 out of 5 used cars still contain some personal data from their previous owners, which can be a significant privacy risk. This data can include home addresses, phone numbers, and even garage door codes. It's like handing over the keys to your digital life along with the car, exposing your personal data to strangers. This can lead to identity theft and other forms of cybercrime, but beyond these individual actions, the hard truth is that this is a problem that can't be solved by consumers alone. Collective action is needed to address these issues on a larger scale. It requires action at a higher level, including stronger regulations and industry standards to ensure data protection for all consumers. Governments and manufacturers must work together to create a safer digital environment for everyone. The good news? Change might be on the horizon, and it could be closer than we think. With the rapid advancements in technology, the landscape of the automotive industry is evolving at an unprecedented pace. This evolution brings both opportunities and challenges, especially when it comes to data privacy and security. Regulators and lawmakers are starting to take notice. The Federal Trade Commission has been urged to investigate automakers for deceptive practices around data sharing, which could lead to significant changes in how our data is handled. This scrutiny is essential as it could pave the way for more transparent practices and stricter regulations, ensuring that consumers are better protected. The Federal Communications Commission has proposed new rules to protect victims of domestic violence from being tracked through their vehicles, a crucial step in ensuring personal safety and privacy. These proposed rules highlight the growing awareness of the potential misuse of vehicle data and the need for robust safeguards. The Biden administration has launched an inquiry into connected car supply chains over national security concerns, highlighting the importance of securing our automotive infrastructure. This inquiry underscores the interconnected nature of modern vehicles and the potential risks associated with their supply chains. After all, if your car knows everything about you, what happens if that information falls into the wrong hands? The consequences could be dire, affecting not just privacy but also personal security. Imagine a scenario where sensitive data is exploited for malicious purposes. This is a risk we cannot afford to ignore. And states like California are creating new agencies focused specifically on data privacy, with connected cars being one of their first priorities. This could set a precedent for other states to follow. By leading the way, California is demonstrating the critical need for state-level initiatives to address these pressing issues. Music builds to a crescendo, but perhaps the most powerful force for change could be you, the consumer. Your collective voice has the power to influence industry practices and drive legislative action. By demanding better from car manufacturers, supporting strong consumer privacy laws, and by making your voice heard, you can help put the brakes on this runaway data collection. Your actions can drive meaningful change. When consumers unite and advocate for their rights, industries are compelled to listen and adapt. The road ahead may be long, but the destination is worth the journey. A future where our cars empower us rather than expose us. Imagine a world where your car is a trusted companion, not a surveillance tool. This vision is not just a dream, but a tangible goal that we can achieve through concerted efforts, where technology serves people, not the other way around. This vision is within our reach if we all work together. By prioritizing human-centered design and ethical practices, we can create a future where technology enhances our lives without compromising our privacy. Music softens. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of the problem. The sheer magnitude of the automotive industry and its influence can make individual efforts seem insignificant. After all, we're talking about a global industry worth trillions of dollars, with vast resources and influence. The power dynamics can seem daunting, but history has shown that collective action can bring about significant change. But history has shown time and again that when consumers unite around a common cause, even the mightiest corporations have to listen. Your voice matters. From environmental regulations to safety standards, consumer activism has been a driving force behind many pivotal changes. Remember, it wasn't that long ago that cars didn't even come with seatbelts as standard. It seems unimaginable now, but it was a reality. This transformation was driven by public demand and advocacy. It took public outcry and persistent activism to make that basic safety feature universal. The same can happen with data privacy and security if we all stand together. By learning from past successes, we can apply the same principles to address current challenges and ensure a safer, more secure future for all. So what steps can you take right now to protect your data and ensure your privacy? In today's digital age, it's more important than ever to be proactive about safeguarding your personal information. First, educate yourself thoroughly. Know what data your car is collecting, how it's being used, and who has access to it. This knowledge is the first line of defense in protecting your privacy. Don't just click agree on those terms of service, read them carefully, question them, and if possible, opt out of data collection that isn't essential for the car's operation. Many people overlook this step, but it's crucial for maintaining control over your data. Second, speak up. Contact your elected representatives and let them know that vehicle data privacy matters to you and your community. Your voice can influence policy changes that protect everyone's data. Support organizations and initiatives that are fighting for stronger consumer protections and data privacy rights. These groups rely on public support to push for meaningful changes. Third, vote with your wallet. When it's time to buy a new car, make privacy a priority by choosing models with better data protection features. Research and compare different models to find the one that best aligns with your privacy values. Ask dealers tough questions about their data policies and how they protect your information. Don't be afraid to demand clear answers and transparency. If enough people do this, manufacturers will have to respond and improve their data privacy practices. Consumer demand can drive significant changes in industry standards. Chanting fades, replaced by the sound of a single car engine. This symbolizes the power of individual actions coming together to create a larger impact. And finally, remember that you're not alone in this fight for data privacy. There is strength in numbers, and collective action can lead to substantial progress. Millions of people around the world are waking up to the importance of digital privacy and taking action. Join the movement and be part of the change. Every voice raised, every letter written, every conscious consumer choice made, it all adds up to a larger movement. Together, we can make a difference and protect our digital lives. The automobile once revolutionized our concept of personal freedom. It gave us the ability to chart our own course, to go wherever the road might take us. But true freedom isn't just about physical movement, it's also about the right to keep our thoughts, our habits, and our lives to ourselves. In the coming years, we'll face a crucial choice. Will we allow our vehicles to become extensions of a vast surveillance network? Or will we reclaim them as the private spaces they were always meant to be? Music swells. The next time you get behind the wheel, take a moment to consider what's really at stake. You're not just driving a car, you're driving the future. A future where privacy is not a luxury, but a fundamental right. So buckle up, keep your eyes on the road ahead, and remember, the journey to reclaim our digital autonomy starts here, with each one of us. Are you ready to take control? Sound of a car accelerating into the distance, fade to silence.